some parts of the world, being born with albinism can be life-threatening. Persons living with this condition are sometimes abused, discriminated, and also killed. So their bodies are used in potions that which doctors prepare and sell. But how different does it feel living in Accra and being too white? Today we catch up with Kwame, a man with a condition, for him to walk us through his journey with albinism. To start with, how regular was growing up for you, a person living with albinism?
Yeah, growing up as a child with albinism, so as a kid, you just behave the way that other kids behave, not knowing your difference until others begin to do things to show you that you are different from them. So it's just normal, regular as a child growing up. But the difference you see is instead of them calling you by your name, your given name, they will refer to you by your condition. So say in Efe, we call them Yevu. So instead of calling me Kwame, they'll call me Yevu. Or some will add the Kwame, they'll call the Kwame and still add the Yevu to it. So those are some of the things that I've experienced as a child growing up. No, I'm not the only person living with the condition in the family. I have a sister, I have an uncle and an aunt. So, and then there are others in the extended family.
So how different were you treated? You know, sometimes certain parents may sort of discriminate or sort of isolate their kids who have special conditions. How did it play with you and your family?
I didn't see any difference in terms of picking a preference. So the treatment was regular. Whatever is done to other kids, I also allowed to do the same. If we are all to go to farm, I am supposed to also go to the farm. Whatever portion of food you have to eat, the others have to eat, I also do the same. So the only advice they give is I shouldn't stay in the sun more than the other. So if it's getting to a certain part of the time of the day, I will be allowed to go sit in the shade. The society is where the different comes. The kids, when you are among them, some will start to sing those ridiculous songs about you. Anytime they see you passing by, they start following me and singing the songs. And yeah, those are the differences that we experience in the society.
Kwame, let's jump to education. Primary school, elementary school, that sort of thing. How were you treated?
From basic school, I have to always, in every class I go, I have to sit in front of the class. Sometimes I have to stand up, go to the board, see what is written on the board, and then come to my book and write it down. Like that, this up and down movement. Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of, the other colleagues will be complaining that I am distracting the class, I should sit down, and this kind of stuff. So it has been like that from the basic school through to SHS to the same. But at a point, I have to find a way to survive. Some people virtually are afraid of me. Immediately they set their eyes upon me. So immediately they see me, they begin to run out. And that is one reaction I always get. Kids especially, once they see you, some are just afraid. They wouldn't like you to come closer and they will start crying. So it's something that runs through, and it's still, even some other people are afraid of people with albinism. It's kind of discriminatory. Why should you be afraid of me because of my skin color? And also one thing is, some elderly parents use the individuals with albinism as a kind of scare for their children. So such children grow up with that mentality that people with albinism are monsters and they are coming to catch you. So immediately they see you, they begin to run away. So in school, you see people with such reaction. People wouldn't like to get closer to you. They wouldn't like you to sit in the same chair with them. They just don't want you to have anything to do with them. So, and not only in school, in the general public, you say you sit in a bus and there's a seat beside you. Instead of the person sitting there, the person prefer to go and sit somewhere else.
So Kwame, it means for you, you started experiencing your social distancing even before COVID-19.
Yeah, it's true because sometimes you sit in the car and the person sitting beside you wouldn't like you to even touch her at all. He would not even like you to get closer. They will sit and then they are like this. They wouldn't like you to even get closer.
Okay. Let's talk about employment opportunities. How has it been for you as a person living with albinism? You know, there are so many biases when it comes to opportunities for people. With your case,
Yeah.
how has it affected opportunities for you in terms of employment or economic gains?
One peculiar experience I had was I went for the job interview, and along the way, along the conversation, they asked what are some of the challenges that I face, and I told them, okay, because of my condition, this low vision is one of the symptoms or something that is always associated with the condition. Then one of the guy took a marker and went and wrote on the board and asked me to read from that angle. And I said, no, why you are writing for me to read? I just told you that I have problem with my vision. So I have low vision. I need to get closer. So I have to go closer, read whatever he asked me to read. He gave me the marker to write another one. I did that for him and I came back. That ends the interview.
How has this condition, has it ever played a role in your romantic life?
Personally, I've tried several ones. The first one was the one I was in the relationship with was teased out of the relationship. She was told that why should you go and date an albino boy? There's someone who cannot even see, they don't defecate on Fridays. Why do you have to go dating that person? So she was teased by the colleagues and then we just have to end it. And the second one too was going smoothly. But it got rough at a point where the mother of the lady started calling me names. Like, she said, I smells like a fresh tilapia. And anytime I'm around them, she can't eat. And the sisters who do not like the idea of their sister dating me. So they don't want to just see me around their sister anytime, anywhere. And that has been the situation for me personally. So it's been a rough journey, especially in terms of relationship and romance. But as a man, we have to just keep trying.
What are some of the thoughts or perceptions that Ghanaians have about albinism that over the period you've always called them out to be erroneous or myth?
People believe that people with albinism do not die, they rather vanish. But that is just a mere fallacy. People with albinism die, they are being killed, and they even die natural death. Even this morning we lost one of our members with albinism. She died naturally. She got sick and died because of the sickness. And the reason why they say people with albinism do not die, to me, is because they kill them secretly, do whatever they want to do with the body, and hide the rest. And people don't get to know about that person's whereabouts. So it has been going on for a long time. So they now turn it out. People with albinism don't die. They just vanish. Another one is they don't defecate on Fridays. As a normal human being, do we have control over our bowels? We don't. So the fact that some people choose not to defecate on certain days, to me, it's not true. We defecate every other day. And there are others that they say we don't see during the day, but rather in the night. No, but I move out easily and about during the day, and then as well as the night. And those are just myths. They don't have any justification. And there's this peculiar one. They say what? If you have HIV/AIDS and you sleep with a lady with albinism, you'll be cured of that disease. I don't see the truth in that one too, because persons with albinism do not have any magical powers that cure diseases. If you use body parts of people with albinism for ritual purposes, there is that potential in using the parts to perform ritual purposes. That whatever you want, you get it once you're able to get an albino body part or the body parts of people with albinism in that ritual.
People with albinism literally have no protection, no natural protection from the sun. Then it means that they are more likely to get skin cancer than other people, other persons. How do you deal with a situation like this?
The exposed part of the body, you need to cover it up appropriately so that you don't get sunburn in the first place. Secondly, you need to use sun creams or sun protection creams. There are creams that have the sun protection factor in it, so people with albinism are encouraged to use these sunscreens. They call it sunscreens or sunblocks. So we need to use this cream so that once you're in the sun, the ultraviolet rays will not have effects on your skin. So these creams protect your body from getting sunburns. Yeah, so for me, every morning before I come out, I make sure I use the cream on my body before I come out, because I know definitely once I'm out, I'll definitely have some time walking in the sun from one place to the other. So I have to use the cream. Sometimes I mostly carry it in my bag. If I realize I've used it for a long time, I have to reapply. So the way we deal with this situation is using the protection, like covering up your body appropriately, wearing the long sleeve, hats, and then something that will cover your exposed part of the body.
I can understand how difficult it is or it will be to deal with wearing full clothes in this hot weather or this, yeah, especially in Ghana, how hot our conditions are. But then again, you spoke of sunscreens. How readily available are these protectives? I mean, the sunscreen.
Yeah, and Ghana sunscreens are not common to find, and you can only find them in the supermarkets, especially the malls. Say you go to Accra or some of the pharmacies. It's not common to get, and one thing is they are very expensive because it's not everyone. Most people do not care about sunscreen, so most people don't use it. Mostly, you will see only the whites using it. So it's very scarce, and therefore it is very expensive. So people with albinism cannot afford up to that amount of sunscreen. So most of them do not have access to it as easily as it should. Though it should be something that it is even more important for a person with albinism to have sunscreen than being put on NHS card where he can have access to malaria drug and those stuff. Because sunscreen is something that you have to use on a daily basis. And it's one most important cream because even if you cover up your body, your face, your neck area, there should be some exposed areas, and you need to apply the creams on those areas.
Creams are expensive, but let's talk about one other challenge, stigma. How do you get around with stigma?
Yeah, stigma. You know, we are born with albinism from childhood. So it has been there since. So as you grow and the same thing happens to be occurring on daily basis, you become used to it. Recently, when coronavirus situation broke out, during the lockdown, I walked into one supermarket to get some items when we are supposed to stock up. As I was entering the shop, I was washing my hand. Then one man just approached. Are you from China or you are Ghanaian? I told him I'm a Korean, and he couldn't say anything. He couldn't say anything because I know where he was coming from. Recently, around 10:30 p.m. in the evening, I was walking on the roadside going home. One guy was just shouting, "Coronavirus man, coronavirus man!" Because I was in a hurry, so I didn't even bother to mind him. I just walk away. So these things happens on daily basis. I don't even know where they get that perception from that people with albinism are carriers of coronavirus. I remember I entered an office one day, and once I opened the door and entered the office, the receptionist just shouts, "Jesus!" I said, why? What's your problem? He said, you scared me. Now how? How do I scare? Do I look like a lion? And she, like when I asked those questions, now that she came to her senses and said, okay, she's sorry. Some of us, it has become part of our life. You know, definitely once you are stepping out of your house, somebody will have something nasty to say to you, and you don't have to get offended by it.
Discrimination, violence, and abuse of persons living with albinism is a concern for all of us. Let's stop the stigma and make the world a better place for all of us. My name is Desmond Frimpong, Ghana Web.